Jaguar as a brand has been on a bit of a roll as of late. Their cars are pretty exciting, they're enjoyable, they're fun to look at, they're smartly priced for what they compete against. The problem is they don't have a lot of cars to offer. The brand is looking to change that though, and that's why we've trekked to Aspen to check out two of their latest and possibly their most important vehicles. First up, we're going to take a look at the XE, and as you can see around me, there are a lot to choose from.
So when you test Jaguars, you're supposed to come to pretty places. And that's what we've done. We're here in Aspen, and I'm literally hopping into the seat of the XE for the first time. I have no other experience with it, so this is raw, a true first drive experience. The one I'm in right now is a 35T, I believe it's called. T does not stand for turbo, it stands for supercharged. Under the hood is a 340 horsepower supercharged V6 engine, and it's paired with an 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox, and I've got a pair of paddles here on the steering wheel. It's very Jaguar on the outside. The nose looks Jaguar-esque, but when you get to the back, it looks a little Audi-esque. But here in the cabin, it's all Jag. And that's a very good thing, because that's an area where Jag kind of excels a little bit over the competition, I think. The seats are comfortable, they're sporty. They've done some nice trim treatment on the inside. And then this car is fitted with the new, very large in-control touch screen. It's 12 inches, it's capacitive, it's 12 inches. It's big. It's got a lot of girth. It's a girthy screen. It's really easy to read. I have a full nav up right now. This is a particularly loaded car. The base price is $51,000. As equipped, this one is $61,000. And that feels like a ton of money. But again, it's a Jag, and that's a nice thing. Though Jag is usually nicely price conscious compared to the rest of the competition. This car is fitted with an electronic power steering system, and first impressions on this curvy Aspen road, it's a little lighter than I expected, and I have it in full dynamic mode. I expected a bit more heft, and there's that odd electric play when it's on center. But I mean, it's not terrible. This is an all-wheel drive model. I would love to be in a rear-wheel drive model, but we'll get to that later when I hop into the diesel. Yes, they are bringing a diesel to the States, and I'm sure it'll be great in all its torquey glory, but for now, I'm going to enjoy this Aspen back road in this gas drinking version. Jaguar is betting pretty big on this car. They're not betting the heaviest, but they expect to sell a lot of them. This is going to be an important car for the brand, and I can see why. It's going to compete ideally against the BMW 3 Series, and every automaker since the beginning of time has tried to compete against the BMW 3 Series. Does this actually compete? I don't know, because I haven't driven a 3 Series in a while. I would like this more than a Mercedes C-Class, I can tell you that much. I think it's more interesting than a Mercedes. Would I like it more than a Cadillac ATS? That's a tougher question. Cadillac really crushed it with that new ATS, and the Alpha platform is fantastic. This looks more luxurious than the Cadillac, and inside it feels a little bit nicer, and the infotainment system here is definitely better than what Cadillac offers, though they're getting better with their Q system. I do hope someday to find myself behind the wheel of an XE SVR. I feel like if Jaguar makes that, that'll be the king. That'll be great to go head-to-head against the ATS-V. There'll be so much fun being offered in the compact luxury sports sedan segment. I feel like basically a four-door version of the V6 version of the F-Type will be the real winner. But for now, this one's all right. It has a few quirks. The steering, like I said, is oddly tuned. This is a pre-production car. But other than that, it's kind of a nice place to be, especially here on this lovely day in Colorado with this sunroof open with Patrick from Jalopnik. Say hi, Patrick.
Hi, everybody.
So there you go. We're going to hop into the diesel next, and we'll talk to you about that one in a minute. So like magic, we've been transported to the diesel XE. It's funny how that works, isn't it? Under the hood of this one is a 2-liter turbocharged diesel inline 4-cylinder engine, and it makes only 180 horsepower, but it does make 318 pound-feet of torque, and that's just a tasty little number. It sounds very British journalist right there. That's a tasty little number. I promise never to say that again. This one is also connected to the same ZF 8-speed gearbox. It's got the paddles. It's equipped nearly the same as the other version we were driving. The interior is not quite as nice with this lighter coloring. Stay in your lane, thank you. But it does have the big, nice screen and the heated and cooled seats, and all those delightful features. This one, though, the starting price is far less expensive than the R Sport XE we were just in. It starts at $42. It's nicely optioned up to about $51, $52. So that makes a little bit more sense. That number feels much better than 62. But again, you're not getting the 340 horsepower 6. So there's the trade-off. Now, how does it feel on this curvy road? That other car was an all-wheel drive version, and there was something odd about the steering that I didn't quite enjoy. This version, though, is the rear-wheel drive version. And I must admit, so far, the steering feels better. The steering definitely feels better. There's a little bit more heft to it that feels appropriate for the vehicle. And on this curvy road, we actually just passed Independence Pass. So the road down back towards Aspen, for any of you who have been here, is delightfully curvy, very tight, no runoff. Actually kind of sketchy, but the road quality itself is great. So that makes it, that helps a lot. I'm probably scaring my co-driver here, but okay, good. So I'm enjoying this car much more than the other car. The diesel engine is a little bit more quirky and fun. The 340 horsepower V6, I expected more. I expected more noise. I expected more punch you in your seat feeling. And I didn't really get that. Here, off the line, I've got the cool diesel torque. I've got, please don't walk, thank you. I've got the great ZF 8-speed gearbox. You know I love that gearbox. And now, with rear-wheel drive, the car is a bit happier through these corners. So if it were my money, based on the XEs that are coming to the country, and I will preface this by saying I have not driven the gas 4-cylinder engine. And I don't think I'd love that one that much anyway, because we're not going to get it with the manual gearbox that other markets will get. So I would choose between this diesel and the supercharged 6, and I think I'm going with the diesel here. There's something more rewarding about this car, more engaging to drive, and that's what gets my vote so far with this early first drive. We'll take a more in-depth look at this car when we get a chance to spend time with it on our curvy Southern California roads. But for now, just kick back and enjoy these Aspen roads. Yeah, you can be quiet. That would be great if you could just shut the fuck. Jaguar is betting pretty big on this car.